Afternoon.
Hello. It's been a while since last year.
Oh, really? Hey, Betty.
Hi, Lee. Hi,
Hello.
Marco.
Hello.
Um, yeah, have you not joined this year, Mark? I'm confused what
Not
day it is, what
yet.
month it.
Not yet because I was still at home.
Very nice, very nice. Betty, how are you getting on? Is there anything you particularly want to bring to the table today, or do you want us to just continue and you observe, or?
Exactly. Just continuing my observation. I install Git pod. First time I use this tool. Interesting. Very interesting. Still in love with the GitLab process. So I continue. Maybe I would suggest to, and I will do it. I think I will add in the GitLab contributors guidelines that IntelliJ, the free one, do not work with repo. So I tried multiple times, but it's working for IntelliJ, the official one, but not
Right.
the So I switched to Visual Code, so that's okay. I did it
Okay.
multiple times, and I was like, okay, maybe it's because it's a free version. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
add.
Feel free to feed that back, and I'll see if we've got any other team members that tried it before, or yeah, we can just update the documentation. Awesome, cool, thank you.
to
Marco, anything on your sort of plate or?
Not yet, but I'm planning to catching back up on the time log stuff to finish the UI and stuff like that, for the categories, and then also adding the abilities to edit the time logs. But yeah,
Is there anything like, should we spend the time looking at the issues and reminding ourselves where it's at and what's next, or like fleshing out any implementation plans for issues, or not particularly, or?
Well, I haven't yet had the time to go through the issues for this aspect, I guess. And I don't even think that some of those actually exist, because I don't remember ever seeing an issue asking for having the ability to edit a time log. And the time categorization, that's basically stuff that we worked on, and what we created, it didn't change.
Yeah, so we can't, you can't really do a lot with it at the moment, right? If I remember, there's no UI to create the categories.
No, yeah, exactly.
Not even, I don't even know, did we get as far as creating? I don't think we even created like a GraphQL or any API or anything, did we? I think it's literally like you have to use the Rails console at the moment to.
I'm not sure, because I remember that the migration to add the new table was the first thing that I did. I mean,
I think we exposed the time log categories against either the group type or the namespace type or something like that.
Yeah, the namespace type, and we did something similar to what you did with the contacts for the CRM, because if I remember correctly, they are only available on the root groups.
They were not anymore, but they were, yeah.
Well, the time log categories are still only at the root group unless change them, but I don't really think so.
Cool. Okay, perfect. I'm not categories. I just realized I was searching for files called like time log and category, and I was actually searching in the wrong repo. So, okay. Yeah, I mean, that would be a. Go on.
The time log category type is exposed on GraphQL, so I think.
Yeah, but we've got no. So it's basically you can do a select to return the time log category types for a namespace, but there's no way to create them, delete them, update them, etc. So
I wonder if I even created the services or not.
time log category. Don't think so.
Yeah, me neither.
So, yeah, we could dive into. There was, and do you know what? There's an MR. I don't know if I've still got it open. That I was thinking would be nice to help finish off. Now I've got to scratch my brain and try and remind myself. Okay. What it was. Oh, that's it. I don't know if you remember. I think during one of these sessions we did some custom role work and we exposed like webhooks, so that basically that was a custom permission. But what got missed is the UI side of, I don't know if that's quite right. Let me share my screen. I'll have to find the issue in a minute and I'll have to move everything over to my other screen. It's always the case.
I have open bets for how many chances that I have to run a GDK update after, I guess, 2 months and have it work.
So rubbish open. Okay, so where is my Zoom? Share. So find GitLab. So let's try like a text controller or webhooks controller. So we've got these authorized read hook and admin hook. Prior to that, it used to just check if you were like a project admin or a group admin, or sorry, a maintainer. I guess I think you had to be a project maintainer or a group owner. But now we've got specific permissions for them, which is great. So read hook and admin hook. Somewhere there is an MR that I need to find that Kev started. Settings. Oh, let's speak of the devil. Raymond's screwing up my search because when I search for hook, it just finds every single communication with Raymond. Kev. Okay, I think this is the MR that got started, and we could help Kev maybe get this across the line. So, what was my feedback? So the first thing is it's not the community fork, which is slightly annoying. But let me cheat. And now you're making me wonder whether my GDK is likely to be up to date and or running as well. I don't think there was much left to do on this one. Okay, so for projects, yeah, I don't think this should be an EE. Because I think webhooks at group level are at EE, but project level, I think that's a CE feature. Yeah. Yeah. Even trying to run. soon. Do you have
GDK.
anything for the table at all, Raymond? The fact that you jumped on?
I'm trying to get my contributor platform up and running again, but with Auth this time, and yeah, having issues on my dev environment. But yeah, you're busy looking at something, so feel free to fill the time with that. If
to be honest, this was just a work in progress MR that Kev kindly started to help us out. I'm happy to jump over and fix. I'll try and get my GD cap and running while you yeah, share your woes.
Cool. I will just share my screen quickly now. Let me just move some tabs into the right.
Same as me. Hide everything.
Yeah.
The first two commands of GDK update run successfully.
Yeah, I've managed to get as far as my login screen, so I'm making some progress.
So I already found one issue in the docs. So
oh, I saw that you raised an MR. Actually, I should have reviewed that as the first thing.
I tried to throw it to Ross for review for to spare you, because I always throw my reviews your way. But
okay, I get a ping, I think, just because I've subscribed.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a 2-word review, doc review on the README. So it's, I mean, I could.
Oh, that's really interesting. So I guess I made a poor assumption there that the API scope included the read. Do you know what I mean? Because if you've got access to the API, it makes sense that you can read the user because that's part of the API. But I guess it's not then.
Yeah, you very specifically at one point in the OAuth thing specifically call for the read user and the API. In fact, yeah. So let me get.
I wonder if that's the solution, though. I wonder if the solution is to remove read user from the scope that we're requesting, rather than to add read user to the.
Happy to test it out.
Give it a whirl.
Once
see
I can
what
get
happens.
Once I can get it working as it is.
Absolutely.
Then, yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so I've got some sharing happening here, and you don't need to see Zoom. I can get rid of Zoom. Don't close Zoom because we are. Okay, so in the code here specifically, we ask for both scopes. So that's where that call came from. And yeah, just so we're all on the same page here, I just submitted a docs fix for this one, because in the docs it said we only needed the API scope. So the last time I had my app set up, I had it set up from way back when, and it only used read user back then. So
correct, yeah.
That's when I went and kind of changed, and I got that to change. I just did that one via Web IDE, nicely and quick. But when actually logging in now, I'm getting this no method user in OAuth callback, and I'm not sure if I've done anything weird here, so I'm not going to pop my secret up on screen, but the application ID is there. I can guarantee that my secret is configured appropriately. I've updated my callback URL to that. And
so go back to that error again. Sorry, so it expires at JSON response created at plus. So that's suggesting that the auth failed, I would say, because the JSON response created at was nil. No. What I would do is find that bit in the source.
So here's an interesting piece of understanding. My database that I'm using in my dev environment is entirely using generated data, because I've just seeded that database. Does it not seem to, it briefly looking through here, it looked like it was trying to stitch my user into one of the users in the database, or is that not the case?
Shouldn't be a prerequisite, I don't think,
Okay.
but it's possible. What I would do is where it, so I would do on line 22, I would maybe do a raise standard error.new and then basically spit out JSON response.
Okay, so Jason. So inside
So
that,
if you, I would do it between line 21 and 22, essentially. So yeah, and because there's a token, there might be a token, it might be null if you want to do it off screen for a moment, and then if it's safe, then you can bring it back
yeah,
on screen.
let's shift that over that way.
So my suspicion is that there's an error, so there's some kind of nil. Well, I mean, we know that it's saying that it's nil, but just don't quite get why. Invalid client. Okay, so you've populated again, hidden somewhere, but you've populated your what is it, .env?
Yes.
Is it .env.docker or
my,
something? And you're confident that your client ID and your secret, etc., might be worth a good old turn it off and on again, like do the Docker Compose down, Docker Compose build, and
yeah, that's the one thing I haven't done is the sort of whole restart the service since I changed that because I updated the secrets. So maybe I just need to bounce all of that. Cool. Let me give that a try. Hopefully you've
awesome.
kicked your GDK in the meantime.
I have, but I'm gonna make you test without the the read user scope. But if you get this bit working, I'll see. I'm just trying to figure out what I need to do to set up. I'll share my screen just until you're ready. Shout when you're ready. Because I've got to set things up first anyway. So what I want to do, I guess, is find a user that I can create a custom role. So custom roles. I'm not running in, what's it called? Not running in SaaS mode. So custom roles will be at instance level. Roles. We'll create a new role. No password admin. Say dev. Oh. Okay, so that we'll then invite someone. This project. User Quitson. We will then emulate that user. Spell that wrong. No.
That's nice.
I wonder if this user is the reported user. But I still should be able to get into them, right?
Yep.
gonna do.
User detail is nil.
I mean, file name without.
Why is that?
So if we go to Light.js, so there's no settings menu. So if we then apply this patch, which it probably won't apply because there's probably merge conflicts. um,
40,000 commits behind.
yeah, it's a little bit old.
Anyway, just update, rebuild, blowing away of dev containers and everything, and restart, and my login is working. So thank you.
Excellent. So I'm gonna switch back. I'll stop sharing and switch back to you. Yeah, do you want to try changing that line where you found where it's requesting the API and the read user scope, and try just requesting the API scope?
Yeah, can do that. Give me a sec to.
So how do you apply a diff? I think manually is the best way, right? Because there's only a few changes in that MR anyway.
Yeah, if there's conflicts.
Okay, so yeah, login wise, I'm logged in and hunky dory. Anyway, let me log out.
Yeah.
So
Lovely.
yeah, so that's asking. You can already see it's asking for a single scope. Let me just go back. If I undo that change here, and try that same login. I don't want the auto login thing.
I think that's because the permissions have changed, if you know what I mean. Like, so
Yes.
because you've already approved that OAuth app with those permissions, it's not prompting you when you've got both, but when you're requesting just the one, it's sort of like, oh, hang on a minute, like you haven't approved this app with just this permission. Bingo.
Okay, so there it's asking for read.
Yeah.
And API. Okay, so let's go back and let's just try it with just API.
Yep.
It's just asking for API. Okay, it seems to be working, but
so the fact that it's got you, it's got your name in the corner is good. Then if you go to your profile, the fact that you've got the edit user button means it knows that you're an admin. The add points button knows that you're an admin. So yeah, I would say that that's all good. The reason the cogs are just spinning is because your user doesn't exist in the the database. So that would be something quite straightforward that we should probably consider, a sort of, you know, returning here and saying no data or something when the user doesn't exist, rather than just spinning forever.
Cool.
But
Okay,
yeah,
I'll throw
okay,
that in
good.
I'll throw this read as a separate MR. I'm trying to keep my MRs small so that I'm not
Yeah, well, I
throwing
mean,
2
you
or 3
can
contextual
repurpose your
changes in it.
existing one because obviously your docs change is no longer relevant once
Good,
this
good.
change.
Good call. Yeah, so I will update that one for
Awesome.
that, and yeah, and then I can get back to what I was actually trying to
Wicked.
fix, which interestingly, we added the link out to the user there in
Oh,
the
what have
leaderboard
we done?
stuff.
What have we done?
No, you haven't done anything wrong.
Oh, you want to add
But
it elsewhere?
the
Okay.
rewards table, which I don't have any data seeded, doesn't have that same thing. And again, my same use case played in
Cool.
to play there. So I just wanted to add a
No,
link.
no, yeah, and considering what we've been doing the last couple of days with these automated ones to be able to quickly jump to that user's profile to check them out, but yeah, it can't hurt. Now, what I would probably ask you to do if you fancy some front end, is to
I
create
never really fancy some front end. What's it?
what I would ask is that we create a very, very small view component which contains the username,
And we
which is a
use that
link.
component every time we then display a user.
Exactly.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. And
how you achieve it is good. So why don't you ask our trusty friend Duo and see how you get on?
Yes. So let me take that away with and see what I can come back with and play.
You may even want to, if you're in time, tap up Fatima, because I know Daniel and Fatima were looking for a real world use case for Duo to do a quick like a video.
Okay.
Don't worry, you won't be the one responsible for doing the video, I don't think. But if you can record like your attempt at it, then I think Fatima will be sort of like doing her super energized version.
Yeah.
So I'll just go back to this and try and recreate this MR quickly. So this is. So we won't do the one for groups yet. We'll do the one for projects, but we'll see if there's a non-E version of this, which is what my feedback actually was. So settings menu. So we want lib, sidebar projects menus. I think it'd be this one. So there should be list of emittable menu items. That only exists. Oh, I know why we've put it in EE. I know why we've put it in EE. Okay. Okay. The reason we put it in EE is because custom roles are an EE only feature.
Mm-hmm.
So even though I'm just trying to get my brain around this. Just have a look at. Yeah, so enable menu items. Just trying to understand why we do this differently. And I think it's because this is a blanket. You've got everything if you can admin the project, you've got nothing if you can't. Whereas I guess in the EE one, we've probably got something a lot more intelligent that says loop through this. And if you can do whatever you need to do, cool. So
Well,
the question is, go on.
Interestingly, yeah, sorry, that if you go back to that EE one, it returns it's line 68 there, it's returning a blank, an empty array. So
yes, so if you're not logged in, you're definitely not going to have access to any of them. Makes sense.
Yeah. But I think that this is only used to get what menu items are enabled with the custom roles that you have.
Yeah, but this is where it's confused, right? So what we're saying is that this makes an assumption that without custom roles, you either have all settings, which I think is when you're a project maintainer, right? Or you have no settings if you're not a project maintainer. So I'm just trying to think, would there be any scenario where you would expose like any settings if you were a developer, or like would there be some settings that are only available to an owner, for example, and not to the maintainer? Or do we keep this status quo for the moment? I don't. That's what I
Developers
can't.
don't see the settings menu.
Well, they don't at the moment, but what's to say that I couldn't decide that I want to create some CRM settings for a project, but I want developers to be able to access those CRM settings? Or I want to create some security settings and only want owners to be able to access those. That's like, I don't know if that case would ever occur.
But at that point, this change is not as easy as it could seem, because it would mean that not only you either can or cannot admin a project, the menu should be visible if you can at least have access to one of the settings.
Exactly, yeah. But we must already be handling that here, I guess. So that's all I'm trying to figure out is, even though technically, so let me, how would this
Where is
work?
the other function, the custom roles? I don't remember what it was called. The custom roles menu items. Where is that called? Oh, up above. Enabled menu items.
Which is this essentially.
Okay.
So what I am tempted to do.
Replicate the same.
Yeah.
With only
yeah.
the for now.
Well, no, I would be tempted to. My brain's just trying to understand how this. So this is the permission that you need to do that. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah.
Permissions, yeah. And it's can any, which is interesting. That's annoying. I'd kind of like it to be the other way around here, because what I was going to do is say, if you've got admin project, you can do all these things.
Mhm.
If you've got manage or read webhook, then you can do this thing. But I like the simple solution at the moment would obviously be to sort of do a, I don't know, like plus equals if and webhook blah and move just this one into that. But that's not very sort of scalable, right?
Can you go to the other array of permissionable permittable? Okay, so in theory, since that's an array and there's an any, for example, the general menu item, it's visible if you have view edit page or if you have admin access to the project. So basically, you could inject the current check for the admin on every item.
Right, I see what you're saying. I think. Yeah. And it caches it, so it wouldn't keep, like, it wouldn't be overly expensive to do. What I would need to figure out and remind myself is how to so where is it? So it calls this from custom role menu items. Oh, okay. So even here, it's making an assumption that if you can admin project, then you don't even need to look at this, which again seems really weird, right? Because how would we render anything, any EE menu items if we're calling super? Are we assuming that there must be EE settings menus for projects?
Mm.
That's very weird. Um,
Is
like
there?
maybe that's an example. Okay, so bigger menu items.
You know, I don't think
Pulls
there's any.
super, and then it inserts this one afterwards. So where's the permissions check for bigger menu items? So this is weird as well, because there's there now an assumption that's basically saying if there are any menu items, then insert the analytics menu item. There's no permissions that I can see that being checked there.
The analytics. Oh, well, yeah, the analytics is a black page.
There's any secrets on there, so I'm not not going to open it up. I just don't know whether to go quick and dirty to fix it, or whether to try and be more, do it the proper way, you know.
Well, MVC, just add the item. Long plan solution, have a better look.
That feels a bit like not my job, not my problem.
No, we can have a look, but not on this MR. I mean, keep it simple.
So items is that, and then
I wonder what the
item.
analytics page should show, because it's a complete blank page on our instance.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Any idea of why the migration, while applying the database migration, I get the cannot run migrations because another migration process is currently running?
No, do a GDK kill and then start if you haven't already.
I did not, but it was during a GDK update, so.
Burn to the ground. We should be can, not can anyway. Okay, well, it hasn't exploded, but it hasn't worked either.
Is the permission the right one? read webhook?
What's that? Sorry.
Is the right permission to read webhook?
So I guess we can. Might be that like these. No, yeah, context. Yeah. I don't mean. I'm wondering if calling can from here doesn't even. Don't know. Like yeah, calling can from a non-EE place maybe just won't check custom thingy bobs. So use
I don't think so. Can is a generic function.
Should think so. Okay, so we've got the user. Uh,
So
is
it's
the
u.can.
what's that? Sorry.
You name the variable u, not user.
Thank you. Cool, and it wants to, so I'm guessing it's read web and project is 7. True.
Hmm.
Is my syntax right? Or maybe that's enabling the webhooks menu item, but somewhere there's something that needs to enable the settings like menu item entirely. Let's have a look here.
I would imagine that if you have at least one item, then
Wishful thinking there. Settings menu, settings menu, settings menu. So
title settings menu. Panel. No, that's the admin. Sidebar groups. Super sidebar panel. Basically the down.
this one.
Or that, or the one before.
This one. So it looks like it adds them all regardless.
Well, it depends. What's the add menu function doing?
Oh yeah, sorry, add menu. But it's not passing it any.
I think it's on the base.
Passing it any. What's this? Is it? So
Add element. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's doing any check. Oh. GDKQ seem to work.
awesome. Going back, we're in lib sidebar project. Gonna just do.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Question is it passing through there?
What should I do? Similar. This is what's blocking it. This is what's blocking it.
Oh,
So menu. Yeah, so we're only checking the custom roles if
if you
so
can.
what if we
So at that point, it would probably easier to do the more complex fix.
yeah. So arguably I just go with Kev's fix, which is to add it here,
Oh, only for the
because you can only custom roles are only in EE. So by default, if you're an admin and you're in CE, then you get the webhook permission. Otherwise, you're in. Let's just add that now, because otherwise we'll finish this and then I won't write any notes and forget where we got to.
I don't know what the bets were, but my GDK is up and running after 2 months.
Woohoo! You owe me 10 euros. So, in which case, I can bin off my changes and get back. So we're going to start with projects. There. Is that enough in itself?
Yep.
Nice. So bearing that in mind, let's read webhook. Yeah, that's the test. That's the test.
Oh, I'll be right back.
group as well. So at the moment, if we go to Flight.js, there should be no settings menu. Good. Stop it. Fascinating. Oh no. Hack that file again. Stop. Go and add. These are
And I'm back.
hello. So I'm just trying the group level one now.
Hmm.
So what I wanted. Before. Ah. I'm still administrator for some reason. Impersonate doesn't look like it worked for some reason. Okay, that's better. Refresh. Yes, we're impersonating. Yes, we got settings and only webhook. Awesome. So Kev's initial MR was spot on. There's a surprise. So the only thing I think I'll do is tweak the specs to look for read webhook rather than admin. I don't know why it's.
I mean, in theory, it should fail the specs.
The reason it won't fail is because now I've got to remind myself what this is actually doing.
Oh, because that actually exists.
Yeah, and basically you would always have read if you've got admin, but you wouldn't necessarily always have admin if you've got read. Yeah. So confused by is where in this file. So we're in the settings menu spec. Basically saying so it's saying custom roles. Do it. Ability. Yeah. So we're basically giving it that ability. And if we look in our policy, or
Hmm.
yeah, so if you've got the admin webhook ability, then it enables both of these permissions, read and admin webhook. That's why it would pass. Oh, okay. So we only have admin webhook as a custom ability at the moment. So that's a bit confusing. So there's two permissions, but you can't give someone this permission without giving them this one at the moment. So I created the granular permissions, but I didn't create the granular role abilities essentially.
Okay.
So again, surprise, surprise. What Kev's done is bang on. So all I'm really doing is rebasing this. Cool. I'll spin up a new MR, and I'll get Kev to review it.
The review is on MR.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, essentially, this is like I would approve his, but because his is now conflict, etc., then it's as easy for me to, unless I can push this over here. I suppose I could do a force push over this, right? But I don't know if that'd explode.
That should work, but you need to do a rebase.
What's that? Sorry.
Don't you have to rebase first?
No, because if I'm force pushing, it'll be based on what my whatever is. So, but I'm in the community. Oh, it should be okay. I'll try it. At the end of the day, if the alternative is me creating a new MR and closing this anyway, what's the worst that could happen?
Oh, so basically you want to create a. How are you going to push on that branch?
I will show you if I can wrap my brain around it. So we don't want this to be committed, do we? So we're going to get restore this. A quick diff. So we've got that new one for groups, the new one for projects, the test for groups, test for projects. Now so everything passed on that one. So yeah, what we would do is get add, which I think I already did, get commit, see what.
But okay, so you create the commit on master, push that over to the branch, and then revert on master.
No,
I mean, discard the last commit that you just created.
I haven't created a commit, have I?
No, not yet. But after you create the commit, force push to that branch.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm doing a commit. That's wrong. I should be doing. Yeah, I should be creating a branch first.
Okay.
Yeah, you caught me. You caught me. Almost committed to master. Not clever. So, be a way to copy this message.
Yeah, it would be useful to have the copy button.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen an issue or an MR for that at some point. But okay, so now I should be able to do git push, and then is it?
Yeah,
I'm not actually using.
You're not on the community. Shame on you.
Oh, so I could have just pulled the blooming branch in the first place and
Yeah, but then you would need to do a rebase, but it's
rebase.
yeah, but at that point it's just a matter of really.
So this is where I then say, because it's got the same one, I should just do that dash force, right?
Yeah. Does it work with the setup string? Maybe yes. Yep, it's working.
Wow, I'm waiting for the very last bit because that's normally where it rejects, right at the end when it's like, hang on a minute,
Yep.
good. I should have. Yeah, that's the only thing it now says it's off by me. Oh, so I can probably no longer approve this.
Oh no,
Yeah.
you can't.
But that's fine because I can pass it straight to this person saying that I have approved it because my approval doesn't really mean anything anyway.
Yep.
And I can pass it straight for the maintainer review. Conflict should be resolved. Awesome. Cool.
Fantastic.
Just get that over the line. Hopefully it's been sitting there a while. So thanks for joining. Have a great day.
You as well.
Catch you later. Bye.
Bye bye.